Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been, well, in quite a lot of hot water. Ubisoft, it just seems like it cannot keep itself out of that way, whether it be Star Wars Outlaws and all of the fan backlash that's getting from a game that looks like it will probably come out broken, where they're asking $120 for at least one version of the game. Well, Ubisoft is out there continuing to push more of their nonsense when it comes to the Assassin's Creed Shadows game, and now there's even more people taking further action to once again get things removed from the game and also changed all the way around. Now, this comes after some stuff that Ubisoft had already said that they were going to remove certain things from it, but the problem is it's still in a lot of their promotional material out there, and it's things that they will end up making money off that they did not have the rights or access to utilize and didn't even bother attempting to ask permission. They just literally ripped it off with no disregard or with no regard to Japan's culture, Japan's heritage, or their history in any way, shape, or form. And honestly, boys and girls, I'm not even somewhat close to mad at them for being all upset about it, because anybody trying to rewrite and erase history is once again trying to rewrite the cultural zeitgeist, and it's nothing more than trying to cause people to believe things that simply are not true, and we will not allow that or stand for it, boys and girls. And apparently neither is Japan and a lot of the other people out there, as well as all the fans and gamers of the Assassin's Creed franchise all around the world, and honestly anybody that just respects the true aspects of history and actually making sure that history is described accurately in a truthful manner, so that way we can pass it down to our generations forward so they can learn from it and not make the same mistakes. Once again, it looks like this is going to be a history lesson of things not to do when it comes to respecting a culture and a heritage that is so deeply enriches Japan, or honestly just anybody's out there. Because guess what? People's heritage, people's culture, and people's history overall, the culture's history, the world's history, should be respected, and falsifications and lies should not be put out there for the masses to consume, because that is just one more situation of you trying to brainwash people into believing something that is not true. But at the end of the day, that's exactly what you want, because your father is, after all, the father of lies. So it makes sense where all of this agenda nonsense absolutely comes from. So, boys and girls, the latest update and all of that crazy nonsense that's going on out there with this Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed Shadows games is Ubisoft refuses to remove a stolen banner from upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows art book. Reenactment Group is now contacting Square Enix, i.e. the parent company. Well, as always, if you can't get it taken care of at the place you're currently working at, it's always best to go over their heads and talk to their bosses, because hell yes, this stuff works out. So we're going to check out this article from thatparkplace.com, getting all of the juicy details, see exactly what their gripes are, a little bit about the history of all of this, and where this might end up going forward, besides the fact that disastrous dumpster fire for Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed franchise. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, because we are inching our closer and closer to 1,000, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know if you are upset about the changing of history that Assassin's Creed is obviously trying to push with this nonsense through Ubisoft, or is it something you're like, it's just a video game, I'm not really worried about it. Just tell me if the game plays good or not, and whether or not I'm having a good time playing the game. Let me know how you feel about all of that in the comment section down below. Assassin's Creed Shadows developer Ubisoft is refusing to remove a banner it stole from a reenactment group for its upcoming artwork for the game. And a representative of the group has revealed that he's contacting Square Enix to get the image removed from the book. Now, remind you, this is something that if they do end up agreeing to it, and one of the reasons why they probably will push to try to not agree to it, and it'll probably end up being adjudicated in a court of law, is the fact that these books are probably already printed. The final drafts have probably already done. They're probably at the printer getting stacked up in the warehouse right now, and this would end up costing Ubisoft and i.e. Square Enix hundreds of millions of dollars because of the mistakes that their stupid creative team did in being lazy and not doing their proper research for the Assassin's Creed Shadows game. My, how far Ubisoft has fallen when it comes to this kind of stuff. So in the middle of June, Ubisoft was accused of stealing the banner from the Sekatepa Corps. As noted by former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, the banner was seen worn by a soldier in the game. This is the banner Ubisoft used without permission. You can see it right here in the background. This was something that was in the trailer, and then obviously where you've actually got it out. They literally just ripped it out of a photo. It's literally ripped out of a photo. I mean, look at this. Exactly as it is, cut out from a photo that this guy actually took. Okay? There was literally a Google search. They literally Google searched this And this is something I was like, ooh, that looks cool. That looks Japanese. We'll rip that off. They probably just like Googled like Japanese soldier flags. That's how lazy they were. That's how much respect they had for the history and lore, not only of the Assassin's Creed franchise, but also of all of Japan. That shows you how lazy they were with all of this kind of nonsense. How much time and effort do you think they put into the gameplay mechanics and whether or not it's buggy or broken, if this is how much effort they put into their historical research? Methinks it's not going to go so well. So a member of the group was informed about the black flag or the bat flag and confirmed it was indeed the group's flag. As translated by Google on X, he wrote, I heard a little about it, but it seems that I'm going to pronounce this horribly wrong, the Sinkakari rifle core was used in the background for the concept art of the Assassin's Creed Shadow. I actually took a look at it, and when I zoomed in, I could definitely see the back flag that we use. Honestly, I'm not sure how to react. Now, Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows did come out and say that they were going to remove this from the gameplay, but that they would be keeping it in their books themselves, keeping it in the art books and all of the making of and all of that kind of stuff in there. So obviously, this isn't going over very well. So he also shared that the group was contemplating filing a lawsuit, but indicating that the group is made entirely of volunteers and not a profit-making entity, which of course is one of the reasons why a lot of these major corporations out there have no problem going after people like this and ripping things off and stealing from them, because they know they don't have the money to actually fight back and sue them like they properly should be for infringing on their trademark, on their copyright, on their intellectual property overall, because guess what? Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows researchers were too lazy to actually look at anything historical and get the rights for it. No, they just ripped things off of a Google search engine. Like I said, how do you think the game's going to end up playing out? And so that's one of the problems at the end of the day, and that's the thing that really sucks about it. So it's one of them situations where somebody with a lot of deep pockets coming in and helping out with this would be very nice. Thank you so much for all your comments. We do not engage in profit-making activities and are run almost entirely by volunteers from the general public. Many people are of the opinion that we should sue, but we would have to cover the cost. And effort. I'm glad you care about it, but it just says but. I don't know why it drops off there. I'm glad you cared about it, but he would then let's see here. I don't know why it just ends there, but either way, weird. He would go on to reveal that he contacted Ubisoft Japan and informed that they should seek permissions to use the back flag. I registered as a user and contacted Ubisoft Japan support via an inquiry form. I told them that the concept that art depicts the Escalation rifle corps flag, and that if they wanted to officially use it, they should contact the representative. Ubisoft Japan officially apologized for rushing the back flag and noted the art featuring the banner would no longer be distributed aside from an art book from the game's collector's edition. As translated by Google, Ubisoft Japan posted, we've received a notice that 2 pieces of concept art previously released for the Assassin's Creed Shadows use of the flag of the Sakari Battlefield Hospitality Union, the Sakari Rifle Corps, without permission. The group was given the opportunity to apologize, and it was accepted. This was likely an issue with the translation, and probably better interpreted as the group gave us the opportunity to apologize, and it was accepted. Ubisoft Japan added, the art in question will not be used or distributed any further beyond this date, except for being included in the art book in the collector's edition. We deeply apologize for this matter. However, it's not done yet. The representative of the reenactment group also asked the flag to be removed from the artwork and revealed that Ubisoft has refused to do so. He wrote on X, since it's the weekend, I was hoping to receive a reply from support, but there has been no reply as of now. It seems that the printing and production of the art book has already begun, so response will remain the same, that it cannot be deleted. Oh, it could be deleted. It would just cause Ubisoft to admit a mistake, and it would cost them millions. Well, I don't know how much millions of dollars, but it would cost them at least hundreds of thousands of dollars to have all these books reprinted, redesigned, and relaid out and everything else. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I hadn't read this article all the way through. I didn't know his full response. A lot of time I try to read these as raw as I can so you guys get my my full-blown actual opinion on a lot of this kind of stuff. But this is exactly what it is. They're not going... They screwed up. They stole from someone. They stole from a non-profit group made up of mostly volunteers. And of course, Ubisoft knows these people can't fight back against them. So they're like, yeah, I mean, we'll remove it from the promotional art because all that takes is a quick little delete. But yeah, sorry, screw you. We're going to make money off of your IP, and we're going to go ahead and keep continuing to print these books. We're going to continue putting these out there, and we're not even going to cut you a check. Like, there's not even an offer here to pay them for that aspect of it. It was literally just an apology. We're sorry we used it. We deleted it, but oh, by the way, we're also going to make a whole shit ton of money off of you by selling these books. So, thanks. We're sorry. We're going to make millions of dollars off of you. Yeah, that's the state of Ubisoft in its current generation, boys and girls. And so in a follow-up on July 29th, he revealed Ubisoft refused to remove the flag from the art book. I received a message from Ubisoft support today. The details are as follows. I printed it out so I can't delete it now. It's difficult to make out the text from the image. The image has been deleted from the system managed by Ubisoft. I'm sorry I couldn't meet your request. In bullet points, that's what happened. So Ubisoft deleted it. While Ubisoft has refused to remove the image from the art book, Matt Lotchkeg indicated he's now contacting Square Enix, the prospective publisher of the book, to have it removed. He wrote on X, since it seemed like we would not be able to make progress with Ubi software alone, we contacted Square Enix, the company that will be distributing the game in Japan, for support. So that should be interesting on how to see how that kind of goes. But honestly, boys and girls, I think he's probably going to get the exact same answer from Ubisoft as he did, or from Square Enix as he did from Ubisoft. Basically, go pound sand. Sorry, not really sorry. We're also going to make a bunch of money off you. And this shows you exactly the kind of people that are in charge of your Assassin's Creed franchise right now. The people that have loved and had enjoyed these games since the very first one, like myself and so many others out there, has seen this franchise completely and totally fall off in the last few years. It's something that I honestly haven't even been interested in such a long time, because so many people have told me again and again that don't even bother with the new games. Some of them are kind of okay, but a lot of it's kind of trash. And honestly, it's one of them situations where with this kind of controversy, this kind of disrespect for fans, this kind of disrespect for Japanese heritage, culture, and all around world history, if we're going to be completely in truth be told about this kind of stuff, just going down to the truth itself and the fact that it does indeed matter is something that Ubisoft is simply refusing to acknowledge. Square Enix most likely will tell these people the exact same thing, and that's the worst part of it. That shows you how much of an abysmal, absolute monster of a company these people are, how their disregard and disrespect for not only the fans, but also the cultures and heritage that they're supposed to be representing out there just shows you the kind of people that they are. And at the end of the day, that really comes down to a decision for you out there. Is diving back into the world of Assassin's Creed really that important to you? So why spending $70 on a game from a company that clearly doesn't like you, doesn't have anything, doesn't care for you, and doesn't matter, your opinion doesn't matter to in any way, shape, or form, and that will completely and totally rip off a non-profit group of volunteers to make a profit of it and then not even do anything to compensate them for them? I don't know about you, boys and girls, but I'm kind of betting on the side of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Boys and girls, Ubisoft, Square Enix, burn, baby, burn. You did it to yourself, and at the end of the day, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. But I guess at the end of the day, it'll only be a matter of time before we find out whether that's what we think they deserve, or if maybe the gamers out there decide something different. It'll only be a matter of time before we find out, boys and girls.